Procurement software is what a company uses to control its spending, all the way from somebody putting in a request for what they need to purchase to the time you pay the vendor. ProcureDesk is a software that we have built to solve exactly the same problem after spending almost 20 years in procurement myself. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through all the key features live on the screen so you can see what are the key features that you need in a procurement software and how it helps you control spending. Let's get into it. So the first thing you need to do is set up the basics in the system. There are really three things that you need to have. You need to have approval rules set up from an approval standpoint. You need budgets to ensure that people don't go over the allocated budget. And you need to make sure you have vendor catalogs set up in the system called vendor punchouts. We'll talk about all three, but you also need to connect to your accounting system so you are not manually creating the same data into your accounting system or pulling the list of chart of accounts and things like that and uploading into your procurement software. So let's first talk about approvals. Approvals basically control where the request needs to go for review and approval. And the purpose of the review is to make sure that the person who is requesting something has the authorization to do that and there's a valid business case for that. Like, why are we buying this? Obviously, you don't need business case for things like office supplies. But if you're purchasing a CRM software, it should have the valid business case justification attached to the acquisition process. Here on the screen, you can see how the approvals are set up. ProcureDesk supports a multi-tier approvals, so you can set up different approval levels based on the requirements. The most basic setup here is to send it to an account, like directly a reporting manager. So it goes to a reporting manager for approval. And from there on, I can add multiple things. For example, I want to send it to a controller or CFO if the amount is greater than $10,000, for example. So it's pretty easy to set it up. Once you set it up, it automatically works. There's no changes required on the user front. System figures out exactly which approval workflow it needs to be triggered based on the conditions you have defined. And it's very easy to maintain. So tomorrow, if your rules are changing or anything changing on your end, you can go into the system and automatically change the approval workflow. The second thing is the budget. You can set it up budgets by chart of accounts, by projects, by departments. So whatever is your process for budget, that can be replicated within ProcureDesk very easily. There are three ways to import the budgets into the system. Number one, we can import it from your accounting system. So if you're using QuickBooks, Sage Intacct, Microsoft Business Central, or NetSuite, we support all those systems. So if the budget exists in that, we can pull it from there. Or if you have a specialized budgeting system, we can import from there as well. Second is you can use a simple spreadsheet to upload the budget in the system. And number three is you can, of course, create budgets in the system automatically, right? Just right from the screen. So where this helps now is once you have the budgets in place, system proactively checks based on the assigned budget. Do we have the money to kind of move forward, or do we need to stop the purchase from happening? All this is automatically built in ProcureDesk. Let's now talk about vendor punchouts. Vendor punchouts allow employees to use the same experience they're used to, like Amazon, Staples, Grainger, without doing anything extra. So the way punchouts works is we just configure that in the system, and as you can see, the users will see like a list of punchouts that are available for them to use. They simply click on the link and it takes them to the vendor website from where they can pick what they need to purchase and bring that back into ProcureDesk. So the right pricing, quantity, chart of accounts, they're automatically assigned. Users don't need to do anything different here. So we talked about setting up integration with the accounting system. All that's pretty automated. It hardly takes 2 to 3 minutes for systems like QuickBooks, but for like NetSuite or Sage, it might take some additional time, like maybe 30 minutes for your admin to set up the right roles and access. But once that is set up, system does the rest on its own. It pulls the list of chart of accounts, business dimensions, locations, classes, you name it. We support all of them. It just sits in ProcureDesk automatically, and it keeps on syncing the data back and forth because in this case, the source of the data is your accounting system. And in terms of syncing the data back, so whenever a purchase order is created or a vendor invoice is approved, it will then automatically send that to the accounting system. All that is factored in here in this integration. You really don't need to do anything once the integration is set up. Once in a while, you might see errors like sync issues popping up on your dashboard. What that means is there's a problem with the data and we are not able to sync the data automatically, and it'll give you specific instructions on how to solve that. You solve it, resync, and you're done. Now, by the way, if at any point you feel like ProcureDesk is the right fit for your company, I have left a link at the top of the description. So click that link to schedule time with one of our product specialists and see for yourself how ProcureDesk works with your exact scenario. All right, let's get to the rest of the video. Now, let's talk about this step number 2. We have the setup completed. What's the employee experience when it comes to creating a purchase request, approval of the request, and issuing a purchase order? Now, as far as creating a purchase request, there are multiple ways your employees can put in a request. Whether they have already received a quote from the vendor, they can simply upload it here. System automatically reads that. So there's AI built into the process to read the codes and create a purchase request from that. You can also simply go to punch outs. That's my favorite feature. Here I can just see all my punch outs, click on a link, go to the vendor website, and brings it all the information back in here. Then I'll just fill in the justification on what I'm looking to purchase. I'll attach to the right budget, but the system automatically figures out where it needs to go for approval. Once it is routed for approval, an approver can approve it in different ways. If you're somebody who lives in your inbox every day, you can approve right from your email. There's a link to click here and approve, and you're done. Second is you can use the mobile app for approval and download the app. We support both Android and iOS, or you can log into the application to do the approval, or Slack. As you see, there are multiple ways to do the approval, so you pick an option that works best for you. And the third step is once the request is approved, system will then generate a purchase order and automatically send it out to the vendor. So there is no need for your team to spend time on manual activities for like generating a purchase order, sending it out to the vendor. System takes care of that automatically, whether it is a vendor punch out like Amazon, or you're emailing it to somebody because they don't support punch out. Those are the two different ways in which a purchase order goes out to the vendor. All right. Now, step number 3 is receiving the purchase order and uploading the invoice. So now when it comes to receiving the purchase order, we have made it pretty simple. Let's say the product shows up at a warehouse. Now they're not in front of their computer, so they don't have to go in, log in somewhere, scan the whole receipt, and then upload it. You can simply take your phone, upload a picture of the receipt, and the system does the rest. Now, at the time of receipt, it allows you to edit the quantity that you're receiving. Now, most systems are designed with the assumption that you're going to get the full delivery at the same time. Reality is it doesn't happen. You have the ability to change. So let's say you order 10 and you only got 1, you can update the quantity you received to 1. System now remembers that it is partially received, and next time when you create another receipt, it'll update the exact quantity that you have received. So you have the receipt in the system. The vendor sends you an invoice. They might send you an invoice via email, which is coming to, let's say, an AP inbox, or they can go to a vendor portal to upload the invoice. Or if you are a large vendor like Amazon, you can send us electronic invoices. No matter how the invoice comes in, system reads the invoice. Let's say we received a PDF document, it is going to route it through OCR and AI to figure out exactly what's in the document, what lines are submitted on the invoice, what purchase order it matches to, and then it does the match for you. So the matching includes matching the purchase order receipt and invoice, that's a 3-way match, or matching the purchase order and invoice for a 2-way match like services. So the system does that automatically. You really don't need to spend time figuring that out. Now, manual invoice matching can cost you up to $20 per invoice. And what we have seen with automated approach, 100% of your invoices are kind of matched automatically, but you do have to spend time resolving any exceptions. So let's talk about that, which is step 4 is reviewing the invoices and paying the invoices. So when it comes to resolving exceptions, ProcureDesk has built in the entire process with automation in mind. So what does it mean? For example, let's say there is a receipt matching issue and you order 10, the vendor invoiced you for 10, but you don't have a receipt in the system. So you can automate the process to send it to the warehouse manager or whomever you're identified as a contact to say, hey, we received this invoice, but we do not see a receipt. System does that automatically for you. Or you have a price exception. You order something for $10 and now it is invoiced at 15. Okay, why did the price change? Maybe your procurement team or the buyer actually need to reach out to the vendor and have that discussion. All that is built in within ProcureDesk. And once the exception is resolved, an invoice is marked as approved, and now you're ready to pay. Now, payment can be done in multiple ways. If you have your accounting system already connected to a bank and you want to pay from that, we support that use case. We also have our payment platform, so you can pay within ProcureDesk all the invoices through ACH, check, card, we support all the major methods out there from a payment standpoint. If you're paying in ProcureDesk, we'll keep on syncing the information back and forth. If you are paying, let's say, within your accounting system, we'll pull the payment status so that anybody who is looking at the invoice, they don't have to call your AP team and say, hey, was this invoice paid? They can actually check if it is paid, when it was paid, how it was paid. All that information is available to all the people who have access to the invoice information. Step 5 is the additional visibility that your team now gets. The system comes with a spend dashboard, and the spend dashboard can help you identify a couple of things, right? First of all, what is your committed spend? If you did not have a PO process and all you were seeing was reacting to invoices coming in, you're going to love this feature, because now you can actually see what is committed spend, what is invoiced against that spend, and what is yet to be invoiced, so I can plan my cash flow. You can simply look at an open order report that gives you the exact information so you can plan your cash flow better. The second is the process which takes a lot of time at the month-end close is accruals. I need to accrue for expenses and I don't know which one to accrue for. So you can look at reports like invoices which has been received, but there's no physical receipt of the product in the system, or you have received the items from the vendor, but there's no invoice in the system. Those are two common reports that most of our customers use, so you can kind of close the books faster. The third thing you're going to see now is budget visibility. So now you can see where are you on your budgets at any given time, who's using those budgets, and where that purchase was done, right? So who actually made the purchase. All that is in one single place. You can simply click on the budget and see all the details that you need to see. Same for job projects, right? So if you are a company that is specifically spending a lot on job projects, you can see from a costing standpoint where the money was spent, what are my open purchase order, what is invoiced, and what is yet to be invoiced. Now, if you want to see all this working with your data and system and processes, click on the link below to schedule a time with our product specialist. We have helped more than 500 companies at this time to help them automate their purchasing and AP process so that their teams are not chasing invoices and they are closing books in 3 to 4 days. So again, click on the link below to schedule some time with our product specialist. And if you are in the market evaluating a procurement solution and you want to see what are the top 10 features or the must-have features for a procurement software, check this video.